Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the paru or paru bullet mod. Yeah, from of course, directly on his website as you can see here. Um pen special pen reinforced war pen paru bullet GT violent champion shake sututu the same money. The same pair. I don't know what it's whatever. But it's weird. They do advertise Sututu, and as you can see here, I guess because he's popularizing the mod, yeah. But it kind of sucks. Um, I mean, I don't know. It just seems. I mean, it's just a bit weird. I don't know. Maybe Sututu is really like popular there, and I guess that's why. But it's not even. It's like I mean, it's cool. I mean, whatever. I don't even know how it works, but it sucks to be, Pyro and then just everyone knows your mod from somebody else. It's like waterfall mod. How like what if people just start calling this Sututu mod? But I guess it's different now. So as you can see here, with this mod, there are some key differences between this and the legit um, Pyro bullet mod. This is okay. Wait, first off, of course, before I go, into things, I'm not gonna go too in depth or whatever. This is just gonna be a mini review. I'm selling this mod. I sold this mod, so I'm just gonna be talking about it before I can't talk about it anymore. Um, while I have thoughts fresh in my head and I own it, I might as well give it out. And it's not gonna be too in depth because right now I don't even know if um how deep someone can actually really go with a pen mod review. Like I don't. A lot of times they tend to be bad, and a lot of times people just tend to say the same stuff. So I don't really know what is worthy to comment or even now because it's hard to really describe feeling. Something subjective. It differs between person to person. Like me and you are gonna experience mods different because none of us are gonna. We don't have the same main mod, of course. We're gonna have different preferences. So what do we do? Do we have to like align to a specific? Are we gonna do like fucking headphones? Are we gonna like see what's meta and then just compare to what's like everyone has or like what is ideal or considered neutral? I guess. Are we gonna like, for example, say, oh, this is denser than Ivan mod or something? I don't know. But it's things that maybe should be because I don't want to be that guy to just say, oh yeah, good weight, slick bod, you know. But you know, I don't really know. It's just things I've been thinking about. But to get back into it, there are differences between this mod and the original Pyro Bullet mod. Why? Maybe because this is from and Eno wants to sell mods, and he knows the Chinese market better than I do, I guess. And he's been doing this for years, so he should know what to sell. As a modder, this definitely sucks to me because I don't really like changes. I want people to experience the mod, how the creator was intended to first, and then change it. Once maybe you think, maybe this will feel better if I do this. I want them to do that, which like I get it. I get, but it's for me not something I could recommend to somebody. Or cuz then you're going to say have people I like people just aren't descriptive when they ask what mods they are. I would like people to be more abrupt because mods can have very small minute changes, and then that every small minute changes like how it spins, and if you're not telling me the changes you've made, then if I want to make that mod, it's gonna be different, and I want to make the mod how whatever mod I want. So when if people buy this mod, they're gonna just say they have Pyro Bullet mod. Well, this is not Pyro Bullet mod. This is Eno's version of Pyro Bullet mod. Which so if you have this mod, you should probably say that because it's definitely worth mentioning because it definitely spins different and it looks different, and um, it's just a different mod because even the smallest changes, if it affects the spin and affects how it's made, it's considered a different mod, in my opinion at least. You know, it's not me being snobby or gatekeeping of the mod. I just want people to be more descriptive, because if you spin this mod and I want the mod you have, I want to know, oh, this is Paru Bullet mod. And all right. So one thing here though is that actually specifically describes the changes he's made. Some of them at least. He replaced the bullet with his customized bullet tip. While the weight is similar, I guess I think the bullet weight is 9.6 grams, but this is 10 grams, and appearance is not the same. I don't like this. Does not look like the actual one. I don't know if you've seen the actual one, but it definitely doesn't look like that. Yeah, it just looks like a regular bullet, but this is definitely different from the one used in the original here. I'm not gonna pull it up, but he's also said so this is a grip. Also uses the instead of the multifunctional pen, so this fucking big tanky Daiso multi-purpose grip. He used a different one. He used his own, I guess, because he sells his own. I think you've seen it here, actually. Yeah, just these ones. Spin Studio. And his any ball, he changes the custom inner diameter, which is a reason why I saw that the any ball here, or this 3-stripe of any ball, it definitely looks different than an actual any ball. Like when you look at an any ball, and it's my eyes, man. I don't manual photo, but to describe what I'm seeing is that the inner like width between stripes is small, but it's actually larger than an actual any ball ones, and the stripes of them seem to be a bit thinner. Well, that might be because they're stretched, but it definitely looks like they are different a little bit. They're probably the same material, but the stripes, I think, in my opinion, they look uneven too, but that could just be placebo. But the middle stripe and the outward stripe look a bit thinner than like the most inward stripe. But that's really it. They're pretty thin gripes, and they're also, when you look side by side, they are a little bit shorter than 3 stripes of regular any ball or regular any ball. But that might be because they're stretched as well. So keep that with a grain of salt. And I'm actually very impressed that they mentioned it here. There's also another change that they didn't mention, of course, is that, of course, they use Giotto, Giotto, which they didn't mention here, but that could be, inferred. Giotto doesn't have the same specs as regular Giotto. So that is a difference here, and I don't know, texture wise, I don't really care. To me, they look they feel the same, in my opinion. But also, this is 40 grams, 40.00 grams actually on my scale, which is pretty impressive. Like, see all these, I don't know if that was like intended, but to think about all the factory tolerances and stuff, like, wow, to get that very specific is, on my model, is pretty impressive. And it's also 23.4, 23.5. On the website, it lists 23.3, I guess. So around there, that's a length, and which is actually 1 centimeter, around 1 centimeter above. The original is 22.5, and this is 23.5 approximately. So it's 1 centimeter longer, probably because of the tip design. I don't know if let me actually find it here, but as you can see, these tips here do not look like the original bullet tip that is used in the like 7.62 bullet. And I think maybe a reason why this mod is a little bit longer is that this outward part here at the end of it is sticks out a bit longer than the original one, which makes you have to put the grips on farther out from the body to actually be flush with the here, because otherwise you'd have to do it and this little metal part will stick out a little bit. For example, like asterisks, I never actually made the original Pyro Bullet mod, so maybe when I actually make it, I'll see why this is 1 centimeter longer for some reason. But it's also visually 1 centimeter longer. Like if you look at, let's just look Pyro Bullet mod, you can see the space, the amount of white on the mod is a lot smaller than like this here. It's different angle, but holy shit, this is so ugly. but but like in my opinion, well, it's not too ugly, but it's just long. Like this replica does not look like a replica. This is like long, you know, Minoa emboss, but besides the point, like these look a lot longer, and in my opinion, more ugly. That is, it's within the eyes of the beholder to see what is more ideal. But in my opinion, it affects spin effects negatively. I prefer like having it shorter and having the black, like the end grips, a little bit more emphasized, rather than like the body, for example. But that's really that's really your call there. My preferences don't have to be your preferences. We can both be right, I guess. But that is just one thing to point out there, and that's why it's probably visually possible to separate Pyro Bullet mod and Pyro Bullet mod when spun, which it sucks to me, because if I see somebody spinning Pyro Bullet mod, and they say they got Pyro Bullet mod, and I have to go, oh, it's just kind of annoying, because I want people to be more descriptive, and they're not being, either they don't know or they just ignorant, whatever. So another change there is that the connector here. So what I did, of course, is that I shine a light under it because it's a white body, and then you measure it. But this body is approximately 4 centimeters, while the original is 4.5 centimeters. They shaved off an extra half centimeter to, it's probably because of Chinese preferences. They want something a little bit more end heavy, and a little bit more dense, I guess, which is another change that didn't list, but I guess it's not very visual and whatever. It's just another change, and it does affect how it spins, of course. I don't know, like I'm not gonna compare it with the actual 4.5 centimeter, but it's another change. And whoa, I just wanted to look at this. Look at this font here on this. It's so like wavy. Oh my gosh. Well, not to get sidetracked, but like this is straight, and then this is all like curvy. What happened here? I don't know. Is that how it's normally? Oh, I guess this is like the cool Giotto. I never saw that. I never noticed that. That's cool. Another description, but seeing that, actually, this actually might be legit Giotto, but I don't know. I guess maybe for the colored ones, because colored ones are cheaper than the white and the black ones, and black ones are grouped here. So I assume it's actually like, yeah, and it just looks yeah, it's I don't see any like fading or any other things. So that what makes me think that it's not cleaned, because why would he clean it, and these aren't clean. So yeah, this is and it feels like an barrel, I guess. But let's go back. So we got the 4 centimeter connector. We got a different tip, of course. Another change. Another change, small change, is that they didn't cut the, like, you know, you have to cut the lip of the Giotto. He did not cut the lip, which I guess is kind of annoying to cut the lip, but that is definitely a visual effect up close. And also, when he cuts the sailor, you know how when you cut sailor, you want to cut along the line, the edge. He did not cut he cut on the other edge on here, so you have a little bit of like the middle center, the middle gap on one end, which is visually annoying. But you know, I guess not everyone's gonna point that out. Not everyone's gonna care. But that isn't one thing to point out that he did not do. Other than that, these of course are colors, which are different than legit colors. I think I got legit colors on here. As you can see, the pink is different, of course, and the blue is a little bit different, and that's really it. But it doesn't really matter because it's just colors, and other than that, everything else is just it. So the price of this, 74 RMB, and which is approximately 10.38 USD. Pretty good deal, I guess. However, like, you could say it's good for the price, but a lot of mods are good for the price. And in my opinion, good for the price, it doesn't really matter because all mods are like the same price, or all mods are relatively cheap. All mods are like under 50 bucks, pretty much. You know, you have like Titan gear, I guess, and then like another thought I've had with mod reviews is that even if it's even worth to make them, because mods are all pretty cheap. Like for some mods, maybe they're inaccessible, like Titan gear. Yeah, I can see why people might want a review on that. Because it's completely inaccessible. They want to see if it's worth it, I guess. Because what other mod are you gonna make with cut up G-Spec? You know, you'd have to modify that. Not everyone wants to do that. You know, it's something you dive into and keep it. So for stuff like that, but for this, you know, and this is, I guess, this is pretty accessible because the product, and I'm not going to compare it with the actual Paru bullet, and because I don't actually have the Paru bullet, but from the Whirl bullet, this was considerably worse when I had the Whirl bullet. I have gotten used to this. This has gotten as fun as I had with the Whirl bullet, but when going from the Whirl Paru bullet, which Whirl Paru bullet, it used a bullet or a different type of bullet, so it was longer because of that, and it also used a lot of tape that I swapped out for any ball, of course, when I sold it to Trippy. But that one was noticeably worse. I mean, that one was noticeably better than this, just in terms of like how it felt in the hand. Like, of course, like weight distribution, density. This was denser. The other one felt more cohesive and fun, and I could just mess around with it. This one, it definitely was a lot more heavy and tankier and just more difficult, I guess, at first, of course. But I guess it definitely has grown onto me to be fun. Sometimes it's when I got it with my other mods, like Note Field, in the same order, when I bought from whatever shop, it just wasn't like this one was completely. I was just spinning fields all day, and this, yeah, not really the same effect, which sucks, I guess, to me, because this was something that maybe it was another thing that looked to be super cool. Do I think it's main mod worthy? Yeah, for some people. Like, I could see definitely people enjoying it, but do I want to pick it up, and does it make me want to pick it up knowing that there's something better? No. Or something that felt better to me at first hand? No. Like, I shouldn't have to get used to a mod to really love it. You know, first hand, yeah, it was okay. Not the best. But as it go on, yeah, sure. Like with any mod that you spin a lot, you definitely, it wears down a little bit more. You get used to it a bit more. Yeah, sure. But first impressions to me were just flaring, not great. Would I recommend it to somebody? Not necessarily. And why is this 20 minutes? I haven't been I don't know. But to me, I don't know why it sounds like I'm making a conclusion, because I'm trying to rush things, I guess, but this mod does not scream um, unique or desirable in my eyes now that I have it. Do I want to sell it? Yes, that's why I'm selling it. Or why I sold it. And why I was so easy to let it go is that the first impressions of this and the continuous impressions, right now, I guess it's a little bit more isolated. Do I have any other mod like this? No. I have VGG Giotto, which is, not inverted. It's a great mod. I would recommend the VGG Giotto over this, because when I spun VGG Giotto, um, with it has archery tips, I think, and it's just two Giottos. You connect it at the middle, and it's whatever. I like that. That felt a lot more cool. That the first impressions on those were, in my opinion, a lot better than this. I like the spin effect of this. Maybe they're a bit equal, because I really like my all white and middle center VGG Giotto. It just feels cool to have. But do I like that over this? I'd recommend it over it, because the VGG Giotto was relatively cheap on just anywhere. I think it's like 8 USD on Oleg, from Oleg. Something super cheap like that, and it's just super easy to make. You don't have to buy all this stuff. This is sort of a handful to make, because you got to over grip it and stuff, but it's definitely cool to make. I'd get the regular Pyro Bullet mod over it, definitely, or even the Whirl. I get it pre-made from Whirl more and just modify it, change it, because Whirl's his end of it is like super. You'll see it when you buy it, or when I bought it, but he just used a lot of tape on here, and I don't know why he used a lot of tape. He used a lot of tape instead of any ball. Like, any ball's so cheap, man. Why would he do that? But I don't know. And like, you can see it on the end, the tips. He wrapped it with like 20 layers of tape, and like the tape would like come out of here, and that's what you could feel it. So you couldn't you can't do that, or else you'll be touching the tape and crushing the tape. And I had to mess with all that. I would rather do that and tell somebody to do that and just fix it than to get this, because that felt a lot better than this. And in my opinion, while they are going to be different prices, it's worth it to me to have one mod that's great, than just a lesser mod. And this mod, while considered good, a lot of mods are considered good, but it fits my idea of good, but it's not great. It's not characteristic. It didn't feel good at first. You have to get, to know it. Of course, it might be because it's a bullet mod, but I had it, my Whirl was 40 grams and around the same diameter. That one felt a lot better, distribution wise. Um, you know, so it's not characteristic. It feels whatever. It's just a cheap Chinese clone of something. So, whatever. And I guess it doesn't. It does work though. It does work. You can buy this mod, and the thing with pre-made mods, of course, is that you can just buy it. If I wanted to try this again, I can know that if I buy it again, it's probably gonna feel the same again. you know, Maybe I'll itch for it more, but it's probably because of just its design. And the Power Bullet mod design is a great looking mod, and it's super awesome. It's tanky, Minoa emboss. What can a person not love? But to many, you know, it's just not special. It's not special. It's accessible now, and in my opinion, but while yes, you could sound elitist that it's not special, but it doesn't. There's an allure to it that is not desirable to me right now, and I don't know why people would want it other than wanting the actual Power Bullet mod. So do I recommend it to anyone? No. Is it Gary approved? No. If you buy it, do I are you should you sell it? No, because you should, choose whether you want to sell the mod. But it's not a recommended I should make. I don't like how it's practically like a proprietary build with the tips. You can't, if you want to change something, sub stuff out. You can't. You pretty much have to really adapt with the tips. The tips are specifically made for this mod, and I don't think anyone's gonna want to mess with that. So it's feeding to a larger demographic of Chinese spinners who prefer this type of thing. Sure, maybe people they just Sututu is super big over there, so they just want this mod. Yeah, okay, but to the people I'm gonna talk to, I'm not gonna be recommending this mod, and that's really it. That's really on the video. This should have been super short because this is not supposed to be like in-depth review at all. I basically spoke about nothing here, so I don't know why I've been talking for so long. To sum it up, there are changes to this mod. 4 centimeter connector. They didn't cut the G-Auto lip. Everything else seems to be cut the same, like the amount of any balls and tanky multi-purpose grip, and this grip is 3 stripes, yes, and they use G-Auto, but the tip is different, and they didn't cut the nitpick. They didn't cut G-Auto lip. They didn't cut the sailor correct, which is a pet bug to me because it just looks imbalanced now that when I look at it. But and I don't know. I feel like they should do it. And also the silhouette of this is, I guess, not perfect, but I don't think the original is that great either, in terms of the silhouette of the any ball and the like comparison to this, because this feels like it goes inward and like there's a fold and it's just not flush, but spin effect wise it doesn't really matter. But that's really it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.